Jiang Jun arrived at MH Securities for her fourth interview round, dressed in a silver-gray professional suit. Noticing the nervous male applicant next to her, she cleverly offered him a spare button, playfully suggesting it was a mind-good luck charm, a fabrication she later admitted to Shinexi, a fellow applicant who had witnessed the exchange and introduced herself. Inside the interview room, Xiao Na, a sharp and direct interviewer, informed the four remaining candidates that reaching this stage meant they had surpassed 99% of all applicants. She then challenged them to state, in 15 seconds, what kind of person they aspired to be at MH. The candidates expressed ambitious goals, one citing Soros on psychological market control, another aspiring to be a breeder-like investor, and a third a Sherlock Holmes-like investor. Jiang Jun calmly declared her desire to be MH's Emotse, promoting principles of love without wars, respect talents and seniors, for the interest of all. Xiao Na, while finding Jiang Jun lacking elite temperament and ambition, acknowledged her as the first beneficiary of MH's diverse recruitment policies, allowing all four to advance to the final interview with Yuan Shuai, whom Xiao Na warned would be even stricter. Meanwhile, Yuan Shuai, the executive director of MH's investment banking department, was relaxing in his office when his assistant, Su Chang, interrupted with financial reports. Su Chang reported that their rival, GE Securities, aiding Hualien Culture Group, had spent over 600 million of an 800 million yuan bond issuance and was just 2% shy of absolute control over VTV. Yuan Shuai, however, remained composed and instructed him to wait. On the opposing side, Du Lei, executive director of GE, and his team were working feverishly to secure the acquisition. Just as they believed success was imminent, they discovered they had fallen into a sophisticated trap set by Yuan Shuai and the VTV chairman. VTV stock was suddenly suspended and announced a follow-on offering, diluting Hualien Culture's shares and thwarting the takeover. Du Lei, struggling to conceal his fury, dismissed his team, realizing they had been utterly outmaneuvered. Su Chang praised Yuan Shuai for the masterful deception, which involved VTV's chairman and board faking quarrels and resignations to mislead the entire industry. Yuan Shuai, quoting Sun Tzu's philosophy, attributed his success to understanding Du Lei's eagerness to win, which made him predictable. Later, as Yuan Shuai tried on a new suit, Xiao Na entered. She sought his advice on her dress for the upcoming BUI Investment Bank Alliance cocktail party, where pharmaceutical tycoon Ding Tian would be present. After teasing her about looking overweight, Yuan Shuai shared a strategic secret. Ding Tian and his wife had served in an African medical aid team. He then subtly wrote Ding Tian's wife's Arabic name on Xiao Na's back and advised her to mention his own past donation to the team, assuring her it would draw Ding Tian's attention. Xiao Na then handed Yuan Shuai the resumes for the afternoon interviews. Upon seeing Jiang Jun's name, Yuan Shuai paused in surprise. Xiao Na offhandedly mentioned Jiang Jun's Emotse aspiration, labeling her a freak. Yuan Shuai, repeating Jiang Jun's words, then made a cryptic comment about picking the best fruit, mature or not. Jiang Jun, on her way to the final interview at Guanghua Building, spoke with her friend Su Li, who offered encouragement. Inside, the candidates were tasked with analyzing a hypothetical acquisition of Yangsheng Power by Ashermao Technology. After exchanging a brief glance with Yuan Shuai, Jiang Jun listened as other candidates advocated for MH to buy Yangsheng Power stock. Jiang Jun, however, argued against it, pointing out Yangsheng Power's 3 consecutive years of declining profits while management salaries doubled. She suspected that the bidder, Ma Yuka, whose ex-wife held a 5% stake in Yangsheng Power, was merely inflating its share price with a make-believe shot. Yuan Shuai, maintaining a cold expression, rejected her stance, stating that MH needed wolf-like recruits, not sheep, and eliminated her. Dejected, Jiang Jun left the building, her heels causing pain. Yuan Shuai called out Crying Girl, a childhood nickname. She ignored him, but his assistant, Su Chang, caught up to offer a band-aid from Yuan Shuai. Jiang Jun borrowed Su Chang's phone to defiantly text Yuan Shuai. Yuan Shuai, let's wait and see. I will not lose to you. When questioned by a confused Su Chang, Yuan Shuai explained that someone like Jiang Jun, who cannot even shed tears, could not survive the Colosseum of investment banking. He then secretly instructed Su Chang to find Jiang Jun a suitable consulting job, even offering a year of his free investment consultancy services to any company that would match MH salary. As Su Chang left, Yuan Shuai reflected on his past with Jiang Jun. He recalled witnessing her severe tear allergy as a child. Her father, concerned for her well-being, had paid young Yuan Shuai 10 yuan a month to protect her at school and ensure she never cried. Later, Jiang Jun recounted her interview experience to Su Li, explaining that Yuan Shuai was the same childhood protector who had actually orchestrated bullying against her, leading to her school transfer. She then received a WeChat friend request from YS. Realizing it was Yuan Shuai, she accepted, but before he could finish his message offering her a director assistant position, Jiang Jun, enraged, instantly deleted him. She vowed to enter MH in an upright way and prove he couldn't control her destiny. Su Li, supportive, revealed she had obtained tickets to the BUI Investment Bank Alliance cocktail party, where Lin Taimao, MH's vice president, will be present, hoping Jiang Jun could appeal to him directly. That evening, Jiang Jun arrived at the glittering party, where she observed Du Lei being questioned by the media. He almost bumped into her and was momentarily captivated by her understated elegance. Jiang Jun's attention, however, was drawn to Yuan Shuai. Soon after, Su Li dramatically splashed champagne on Yuan Shuai, feigning to be a jilted lover. Yuan Shuai, noticing Jiang Jun trying to suppress a smile, realized the ploy. He played along, announcing to the shocked crowd that his girlfriend was present and pointing directly at Jiang Jun. Mortified, Jiang Jun fled to the rooftop. Yuan Shuai followed, finding her furious. She confronted him, recounting a traumatic memory from high school. During a speech competition, she froze under pressure, was booed, and Yuan Shuai had taken her script, triggering her tear allergy in front of everyone and forcing her to transfer. Yuan Shuai asserted that investment banking was unsuitable for her, given her allergy and the intense demand for capability, endurance, and stress resistance. As the wind intensified, Yuan Shuai tried to pull her away. In the struggle, she twisted her ankle and fell into his arms, their lips accidentally touching. Paparazzi rushed to capture photos, but Yuan Shuai shielded Jiang Jun and drove them away. Her tear allergy flared up again, and Yuan Shuai swiftly carried her to the hospital, leaving her dropped hairpin on the rooftop, where it was later discovered by Du Lei. After Yuan Shuai rushes Jiang Jun to the hospital following her tear allergy attack, he calmly instructs the doctor on her specific medication needs, demonstrating a deep understanding of her condition. When told he cannot enter the emergency room, as he is not family, he waits outside. While Jiang Jun is unconscious, Yuan Shuai uses her phone to add his WeChat contact and send a text message to Su Li, asking her to pick Jiang Jun up from the hospital. He discreetly leaves after confirming Su Li's arrival. Jiang Jun wakes up in the hospital bed, disoriented. Su Li apologizes, thinking her previous advice led to Jiang Jun's distress, but Jiang Jun clarifies her tears were not because of Su Li. Su Li then shows Jiang Jun a news article on her phone, featuring a blurry photo of Jiang Jun and Yuan Shuai kissing at the BUI cocktail party. The headline playfully suggests Yuan Shuai sweetly comforted his angry girlfriend, leaving Jiang Jun utterly mortified. At MH, employees are buzzing with gossip about Yuan Shuai's mysterious girlfriend and the recently published photo. Chao Na intervenes, sternly ordering everyone to delete the photos and cease the rumors. Meanwhile, in his office, Yuan Shuai appears contemplative as he looks at Jiang Jun's picture on his phone. His assistant, Su Chong, playfully teases him, noting his softened demeanor and advising him to take advantage of their proximity if he truly likes Jiang Jun. Though Yuan Shuai feigns annoyance and assigns Su Chong extra work, he inwardly acknowledges the wisdom of the close access strategy. He visits Pingmin's second village and convinces Jiang Jun's landlady, Ms. Zhang, to evict her by offering a 40% rent increase. Ms. Zhang accepts the money and tells Jiang Jun she must move out to accommodate her suddenly married son. Yuan Shuai then instructs his assistant to list his apartment, room number 702 in Longting number 79, which is conveniently next door to his own, on the internet. He specifically demands that it be fully furnished, priced 3,000 yuan below market rate, and rented only to a specific individual whose details he provides. Later, Jiang Jun confronts Yuan Shuai to return his clean clothes, her face still showing remnants of her allergy attack. She challenges his earlier decision to reject her from MH, citing a recent news report that validated her analysis of Yangxing Power's acquisition. Yuan Shuai, however, dismisses her argument, explaining that the acquisition's termination was a calculated strategic maneuver by Ma Yuka to secure more power, not an indication of financial instability. He asserts that Jiang Jun lacks the emotional toughness required for the high-stakes world of investment banking. To prove his point, Yuan Shuai gives her another test, to try on clothes in several high-end boutiques without making any purchases. Jiang Jun attempts the task, but is mortified by the disdainful reactions of the sales assistants and retreats prematurely. Yuan Shuai uses this as further evidence of her extreme sensitivity and psychological weakness, declaring her unsuitable for MH. He then offers her a position as a director's assistant at Wise Consulting, a top-tier firm, emphasizing its excellent salary and promotion prospects. Jiang Jun, however, defiantly refuses the offer, resolute in her determination to join MH. Evicted from her apartment, Jiang Jun is forced to temporarily move in with Su Li. Despite her recent setbacks, Jiang Jun is determined to find a new place. In a poignant flashback, Yuan Shuai remembers Jiang Jun as a student compassionately adopting a stray dog named Wealth. Concerned about her strong emotional attachment and the potential for heartbreak if the dog were to face any harm, Yuan Shuai took it upon himself to care for Wealth. In the present, Yuan Shuai meticulously inspects his newly furnished Longting community apartment, ensuring every detail meets his precise specifications. He also receives confirmation that the listing is garnering significant attention. Jiang Jun, meanwhile, shares her ideal apartment requirements with Su Li, describing a space that perfectly matches Yuan Shuai's meticulously prepared apartment. Su Li discovers the surprisingly affordable listing in the upscale Longting community, nicknamed the Shanghai Investment Banking Backyard. When Su Li calls the agent, the apartment is initially said to be unavailable, but the agent's tone abruptly changes upon hearing Jiang Jun's surname, swiftly arranging a viewing for that afternoon. Jiang Jun is impressed by the apartment's perfect alignment with her desires and its suspiciously low rent, though she remains wary of any hidden issues. Her concerns are pushed aside when Su Li excitedly informs her that MH Vice President Lin Taimao makes monthly visits to the nearby Hui Wang Library, and today is one of those days. Seizing the opportunity, Jiang Jun hastily decides to rent the apartment to facilitate access to Lin Taimao. From his adjacent apartment, Yuan Shuai, who has been listening to the entire conversation, receives a discreet signal from the agent, confirming his successful ploy, and smiles subtly. Jiang Jun hurries to Huiwang Library, but is denied entry, as it is a members-only establishment requiring prior appointments, and today's slots are fully booked. Just then, Dulé arrives, and, recognizing Jiang Jun from the BUI cocktail party, offers her a spare appointment slot as an act of apology for their previous collision. Once inside, Jiang Jun discreetly attempts to follow Lin Taimao, but her clumsy efforts quickly draw his attention. She explains her situation, recounting her rejection from MH's investment banking department despite reaching the final round, attributing it to a personal feud. She passionately expresses her long-held dream of joining MH and asks for his intervention. Lin Taimao politely declines, stating that personnel matters are handled by the administration department and he cannot overrule management's decisions. Jiang Jun, drawing on his reading of the Gonyang biography, Guliang biography, cleverly argues that legal principles outweigh human connections and requests a fair, unbiased interview opportunity. Impressed by her resourcefulness, Lin Taimao agrees, challenging her to analyze the investment potential of the library itself. Jiang Jun, after a moment of observation, astutely identifies the library's dual nature, a philanthropic facade masking a clever business model that leverages hunger marketing and online sales through social media influencers. She further suggests expanding into book publishing and signing authors. Lin Taimao acknowledges her keen observational and analytical skills, concluding the interview by promising to consider her request. Unbeknownst to them, Dulé silently observes their entire interaction from a nearby reading spot. Meanwhile, Su Li finds herself in a dramatic situation at her workplace when a lecherous client harasses a model during a photo shoot. Incensed by his behavior, Su Li boldly confronts him, pouring hot coffee over his head and verbally berating him. Despite his threats of dismissal, Su Li defiantly announces her resignation. Shortly after, Jiang Jun receives an official MH employment offer, expressing disbelief at her unexpected success. She immediately calls Su Li to share the joyous news. Su Li is thrilled for her friend, but then recounts her own dramatic exit from her job. Jiang Jun offers to help her find new employment, but Su Li declines, explaining that her office job had been stifling her true passion. She reveals her childhood dream of becoming a novelist and vividly describes her ideal male protagonist, a highly intelligent man with fair skin, large eyes, long bangs, and dimples. At that precise moment, Su Li glances out the window and spots a man who perfectly matches her idealized description, instantly becoming smitten. She hastily ends her call with Jiang Jun, declaring she has found her dream guy, and rushes off to pursue him. After learning that he frequently visits a nearby convenience store, Su Li decides to apply for a job there, hoping to get closer to him. Jiang Jun returns to her new apartment, brimming with excitement and satisfaction at her MH offer and newfound independence. Her joy is interrupted by a knock at the door. To her surprise, it is Yuan Shuai, who, feigning a friendly gesture, claims to be greeting his new neighbor. Jiang Jun quickly realizes the truth behind her suspiciously perfect and affordable apartment, calling him an evil neighbor. Yuan Shuai playfully retorts, suggesting she is fortunate she didn't get into MH, as living next door to him might have caused her to fall in love with him. Jiang Jun dismisses his taunts, curtly wishing him good night and closing the door. Leaning against the door, she laments, "Can I move out now?" Outside, Yuan Shuai smiles, his earlier interactions with Jiang Jun's father flashing through his mind, and confidently says, "There's a long time ahead." If you love the story, subscribe for the next episode.